Hey guys, welcome to the locker room where we talk about sports. Today we'll be looking at the wild card weekend. We'll give our predictions for our divisional round, and we'll look into the off season. So welcome to the locker room. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the locker room. Super excited you are here today. We'll be talking about everything NFL. We'll be talking wild card, divisional round, off season, a little bit about everything. It's me again, your host David, and
Danny, what's up, guys?
so a little bit of background in the NFL world. I am a Texans fan and a Packers fan. My boy Aaron Rodgers over here, and then
I am a diehard Seahawks fan.
as
Go 12s.
as you can see.
As you can see.
Yep. And so I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Packers fan. I am a Packers fan, though, mainly. I will not lie, mainly because of Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, I mean, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, you can call me a bandwagon, whatever, but forever a Texans fan, though. My H-Town, bring me the H.
Fortunately.
Okay, so let's get started. So let's go through the wild card weekend. Let's go through the first game. So let's go 49ers Seahawks.
Ouch. What a way to start.
41-23. What do you think about that game? How do you see your Seahawks there? I mean they did come this far. I mean, no one expected them to come this far, so.
Yeah, to start the season, I didn't expect them to even get past maybe 4 wins.
Nobody believed in Geno Smith.
Yeah, absolutely not. No. And I think that was an absolutely rough opponent to have in the first round.
I mean, yeah,
but
49ers.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to the Lions, we got there.
And
yeah, thanks to the Lions.
Don't even get me started with that game, Lions Packers.
Yeah, but I say that they had a very good first half. They actually had the 49ers who has a very good team, who has the potential to go to the Super Bowl. But they turned on the engines in the third and fourth quarter, and I mean,
took it out. Yeah, and I mean, Brock Purdy, I don't know what that man eats. He is on fire. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo off the radar, Trey Lance off the radar, and it's all Brock Purdy's show.
Absolutely.
And let's not even get started with the defense. They're just, I mean, so 40. I mean, if you look at it, it looks pretty bad. But I think, how do you think the Seahawks are gonna come out for next year?
I think if they have a good draft like they had this past year, personally, not a biased opinion, I think they had top 3 draft classes this past year.
No, I agree. Kenneth Walker is one of the
They had Walker, who really popped out whenever Rashad Penny went down.
Yep.
Tariq Woolen leads the league in interceptions. Amazing rookie out of UTSA. And just like everybody else, just combined with it, and I mean they went beyond their expectations.
No, I agree. I mean, personally, I didn't have the Seahawks even going to the playoffs.
Oh no.
But I mean, I think they ended up in a good position. Not horrible, not great, obviously, but I think they exceeded everyone's expectations. And I mean, yeah. So let's see what happens next year for them.
Hey, you were cheering them on. You had DK in your fantasy team.
I did have DK in my fantasy. I had Rashad Penny at the beginning of my fantasy. He obviously got injured, but I did did have DK. So
DK.
He got me a couple. Points, so that's good.
Hey, you got far. You got far in fantasy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I came in third place.
Not bad at all.
That last week, my team just let me down totally.
Out of a 12-man league, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. No. Let's see, had Josh Allen. I had Christian McCaffrey. I had Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce got injured, so I had to put.
You had Devontae and DK in a 12-man league.
Devontae and DK. I had who did I have for my kicker? I had the 49ers defense that they gave me clutch.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, hopefully next year come in stronger.
Yeah.
But okay, let's Jaguars Chargers. I mean,
wow.
Personally, I was watching the game, and Chargers were winning 27-0. I turned it off. I did not keep on watching. I was like, yeah, that's game. And I was playing FIFA, and then next thing I look on Instagram, ESPN put that the Jaguars had. I was like, what? This must be an error. And sure not. I mean, the Jaguars beat the Chargers.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, in the first quarter, Trevor had thrown 3 interceptions.
Four interceptions. Oh, three, four.
Yeah, and then after that he threw a 4th one.
Yep,
So it's
then-
like, how do you come back from that?
I don't know what. I mean, either his mom talked to him during halftime and like threatened him, or to. I don't even know what happened there.
I mean, it's crazy because the Chargers actually have a good defense. Joey Bosa was back in that game. Secondary was playing pretty good. They had 4 interceptions by halftime, so you'd think they react like they had already done, but
Yep.
I don't know what happened. They just
I don't know. They did a Matt Ryan.
they did him at Ryan. There you go.
I have no other explanation for that. I mean,
No.
you think the Chargers head coach continues?
Absolutely not. They already fired their offensive coordinator. I mean, the reason that they didn't have their full offense was because of him. He played Mike Williams in the Week 18 game that
And-
was useless, and he got
then-
injured.
Yep, he got injured.
Knowing he's
That's-
an injury-prone player, so
Yeah, I think that was a big mistake from him.
absolutely
And,
not. Brandon Staley's out.
Yep. So I mean, however, the Jaguars. I mean, going through, I think they're I would say probably a
Oh yeah, you have a special prediction.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that. We'll keep
Yeah.
that. Okay.
keep an eye on them. Keep
Yeah.
an eye on the Jaguars.
They have a hard task going in the Arrowhead though.
that is true.
Arrowhead is somewhere you don't want to play football, especially a away team.
No, you don't. No.
No.
Anyways, moving on to our Sunday games, we had Dolphins, Bills, Giants, Vikings, Ravens, and Bengals. Let's start with Dolphins, Bills. Personally, I did not think the Dolphins were just not even gonna keep it that close.
Show up.
I mean, Tua was out. They were raising a third string quarterback.
And it's the Bills at home.
And the Bills.
And it was cold.
And however, in my opinion, this shows that the Bills, since they had trouble against the Dolphins, I'm not saying the Dolphins' secondary. I mean, it's
Yes and no.
but
yeah.
you can see the Bills struggled. So
Oh, yeah.
going into the divisional round, I mean, I have my doubts for the Bills.
Absolutely. I mean, Skylar Thompson didn't play a MVP game. I mean, he was overthrowing, underthrowing guys, but I think
31?
the
I
main
mean-
yeah.
I was surprised when I saw the score.
Absolutely. The main concern was that Josh Allen was turning the ball a little too much. He was turning over on downs too much.
I think that's the last couple of weeks, even that affected me in fantasy as well,
Yeah.
because I had Josh Allen. I think the last couple of weeks he was very, he did a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions, and
shaky.
I think that he's been a little shaky in that
Mhm.
area, and I mean he has to level it up. The whole team does really for the divisional round, but. I mean, the Dolphins gave a good fight. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
do you think because you think if Tua would have played, but in a different outcome?
Yeah, just because he's just used to the guys around him, a lot more than Skylar Thompson.
Right.
And you can't really expect much of Skylar Thompson. I mean, he's not Brock Purdy.
Right.
but yeah, I mean, Skylar Thompson did his best, and they took care of business as much as they could. But then again, it's the Bills, and I mean, they use firepower that is just not seen from any other team. So
How do you see the Dolphins next season?
next season, Tua played very well this season.
It's because of
Yeah.
the concussions and
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping Tyreek and Waddle helps him so much.
Yes, I
because
agree.
I mean, being a quarterback, you just check it down to the guy. He makes the play.
just like whenever Tyreek Hill was in Kansas City
Oh,
and Pat, just say he just threw it and Tyreek was out there somewhere. I mean,
exactly.
you can't go wrong with Tyreek. I mean,
And the running game got better at the end of the season. They added Mostert and they added Jeff Wilson. That helped them a lot because running wise, having Chase Edmonds at the beginning of the season was just not helpful.
no.
I mean, they'll be fine. It's still a tough division with the Jets, with the Patriots. So we'll see how that goes.
No, I
next
agree.
season.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the Giants Vikings. I
Upset.
mean, what do we think about? I feel like the Vikings were. I think all season were kind of. They were their.
Favorites in a way.
Well, I would say probably kind of faking us, maybe catfishing us. Maybe, in my opinion, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. Their defense is just inexistent, in my opinion. Their secondary is inexistent. They allowed too many points. They allowed like what 40 plus to the Packers. They
Yeah.
allowed 40 plus
Oh yeah.
or 30 something to the Colts with Matt Ryan and no receiving core almost. So it's just their offense is great, but you play the Giants and the Giants don't even have the best team, but yet they play well together, and that's just they just marched in Minnesota and just took it away from them. You know.
I mean, the Giants have been. I think they've been an underrated team all season, in my opinion. Daniel Jones.
Saquon has been playing back to his level.
Yep.
Um,
I think they have they face the Eagles in the division round, but it's gonna be a tough opponent.
Very tough.
But in my opinion, it's doable. We'll look into that when we go ahead and analyze that matchup. But I mean, I think it's doable.
Yeah. And their defense was actually playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Against the Vikings.
How do you see the Vikings in the next season?
They need to draft and trade for defensive players in the bag, like cornerbacks, safeties. Actually, safeties. Harrison Smith is getting a little old. But he has a little bit in the tank left. Just mainly defense. I think their offense is perfectly fine. Dalvin Cook played a little mid this season. Justin Jefferson speaks for himself. I mean, if you think about it, the offense is not the problem. The offense is not the problem at all. They're keeping Kirk
Cousins. I mean,
he's top 5 in yards. Who would have thought that? Kirk Cousins has always been middle of the pack, but this season he just went beyond. Apparently Adam Thielen might be on his way out. We'll see how that turns out. But there's still guys behind him like KJ Osborne who can step up to the plate. So,
I agree.
I think the Vikings do a very well job, and the coach is doing his job. So
yeah,
they're looking nice.
So I think like you said, defensive players that will definitely help the Vikings. And I mean, they had I feel like they were like the Steelers last year. The Steelers. Wait, was it last year when
2020
with Ben
2020.
that they won, I think 8 straight games or something like that.
Yeah, they were like 12-4 going to the wild card.
And I think it was kind of that same kind of scenario. I think kind of catfishing us a little bit.
It was a defense.
It's and but I mean we'll see what happens next season for the Vikings. Now Ravens Bengals, 24-17 for the Bengals. How do you? That fumble from Lamar was just
Tyler Huntley.
That was I think that was the decisive moment for the game.
Yeah. So Tyler Huntley.
On the one, I mean, that has to hurt. I mean,
Tyler Huntley. Same thing with like Skylar Thompson and like that situation. Like you can't expect the backup quarterback to go against a divisional rival that is Super Bowl bound too.
Right.
So especially in their house, and don't get me wrong, it was like 17. It was tied. They tied it up. They were on their way back, but if you're gonna run it at the one. Hold on to the ball and get in the end zone because I mean the linebacker just like slapped it off of his hands.
I mean it was I mean that has to hurt. I mean on the one,
and that's how the game ended.
You can't really do that.
No, I mean the Ravens have a good defense, but if you think about it, offensive weapons besides Mark Andrews, who do you have?
You think Lamar? You think Lamar is a good fit for the Ravens, or?
Well, if you're gonna keep Lamar at Baltimore, you gotta give him a receiver.
No,
you can't just let him run and run and run.
And really, his only offensive weapon would be Mark Andrews.
That's it. Because what they did this year, they got DeMarcus Robinson from free agency, and that's a target. Rashad Bateman's always injured, so you can't just rely on mediocre receivers. You got to give him something nice. Because I promise you, if Lamar had someone like maybe even not even superstar, but like T. Higgins, you give him Gabe Davis, you give him someone at least at that level, he can do wonders. And I can imagine with an actual top tier receiver.
he has the feet, he has the throwing ability. I think
he has an arm.
With another offensive weapon, I think the Ravens might go far.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last game.
The Cowboys Buccaneers 31-14. I won't lie. I did want Tom Brady to win, mainly because I wouldn't say I hate the Cowboys. But,
Wait, hold on. You did or didn't want Tom Brady to win?
I wanted Tom.
Oh, you wanted. Okay, you wanted Tom Brady to win.
I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. Like I said, I wouldn't say I hate the Cowboys fans. I mean, not sorry. I wouldn't say I hate the Cowboys, but I'll just leave it at that. And,
You just leave it at that.
I mean, the only reason
You're a Texans fan. So.
and to say that Tom Brady has had the same amount of playoff wins as the Cowboys franchise. I mean, 35 and 35. Finally, the Cowboys passed him 36-35, and I mean, oh well. But I think Tom Brady was just on. He was fighting for his life.
Yeah, Tom Brady's the most. He's amazing. Obviously, the best in the business. But when you have the Cowboys pass rush up your nose,
I mean, Micah Parsons just coming.
He had like 3 seconds to get the ball away, and it's just impossible because their secondary is actually underrated too. They're actually really good. So if no one's open, what is he gonna do? He can't run.
He can't run.
He can't run.
He's a fridge.
Right. He's a fridge. So that's the only weakness of that game. I mean, the Bucs could have honestly had a shootout with the Cowboys, like keeping up with them, but they can't because of the defense. And the Cowboys' defense, again, going into San Francisco, same thing. Like, that's literally a 50-50 because you have the best offense in the league and one of the best defenses in the league. So that's where you'll see that. But the Bucs just clearly didn't match that.
And let's talk. What about that? The Cowboys kicker. I mean,
Oh my. Oh.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, you could put a.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that I could kick 4 field goals in a row. In
No,
NFL
I could
Stadium,
definitely kick.
but
like, at least one, maybe one.
well, I mean, he made 1, but he missed like 3 or 4.
He missed 4.
Yeah,
he missed 4 in a row. I think.
Yeah. So like, it's not like they're not gonna give him crap because they won. That's the most important thing.
But you cannot do that in a divisional round, especially against the 49ers that every point counts.
Yeah, good luck going to Santa Clara because if it's the crowd noise or if it's too much pressure for you, you're not going to survive in the 49ers
I mean,
Stadium.
he's been doing good.
He has been doing good. Yeah, he's one of the top kickers in the league. So, if the game came down to a field goal, it's concerning. Very concerning.
Quite concerning.
Yeah, because for example, Robbie Gould for the 49ers, he's never missed a field goal in the playoffs ever in his career, and he's been in the league for 10 plus years.
He's one of the best kickers
to ever do it. Yeah,
Justin Tucker.
Right. So, yeah, if you're gonna leave the game down the line, which that game could be decided by a field goal, and if it's Brett Maher kicking it
at this moment, I would not trust the kicker to decide the game.
Those are extra points, by the way.
Exactly. Every point matters, and especially in division round, especially against the 49ers. So, I mean, but you think Tom Brady retires, leaves the team? What's happening with Tampa Bay? Do they keep another coach? What's happening with Tampa Bay and Tom Brady?
I think you have to bribe Brady. You have to bribe him with something because if you remember, whenever he went to the Bucs, they brought Antonio Brown and Gronk with him.
Yep.
It's kind of like a little, come on, we have your buddies here, you can throw to them. If they want to keep him, they got to give him something.
Yeah, I feel like if he does, I'm sure he does not want to just keep on fighting for his life. He has to see some movement from Tampa Bay in order for him to stay. Obviously, we have to put into the table that he's his age as well. But you think he stays in Tampa Bay, or he retires, or he goes to another team?
There are rumors. There are rumors that he would go to the 49ers, but
I've heard rumors that he is going back. He might go back to the Patriots and end his career in the Patriots.
Yeah. So, the rumors at first were that he was going to go to the 49ers but now with Brock Purdy,
I don't think
it's not even Brock Purdy. It's you have 3 quarterbacks. You have 2 of them that are on rookie contracts. One of them was a first round pick. And then you have Jimmy G, which he's probably going to be the one who's going to leave, and Brock Purdy, who the guy's like 8-0. How could you not keep?
I mean,
that?
And he was. I think it was. He was the first rookie to beat Tom Brady in his first
ever game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhat. Yeah, I mean,
And he's only the third rookie quarterback in the NFL history to win a playoff game.
so I
So,
mean that says something, and I probably wouldn't want Tom Brady when I have this guy in
oh
my
no,
lineup.
um,
I mean, he might go to Seahawks.
no, absolutely not. Respect to Tom, but I know.
You think
What about the Raiders though? Derek Carr is already out.
that? I mean, that would not be a horrible.
Now you need to build around that because the Raiders are not a good team right now.
I think it's a coach.
Yeah,
But
Josh
they-
McDaniels. Yeah.
They don't have the money to fire him, so
They don't have the I don't think they have the cap space or like the players / draft picks to get Tom Brady.
that is true. That is another. But I mean, what other team would you put him in? Or he stays at Tampa? I mean, that's always
He,
obvious.
he can stay at Tampa. I haven't seen him show signs of wanting to leave the team because a player usually shows signs like, oh, I want a new contract. Starts doing things on social media. He's not that type of person.
Well,
he could
Tom,
stay.
I feel like Tommy's always been like that.
Yeah, he could. I can see him staying, and if there were the possibilities of him going back to the Patriots, it's not a bad idea either.
I don't see it as that bad. I mean,
No.
maybe just one more year there and retire.
Yeah, go back to where it started, and you just finish it there, nice and clean.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens this offseason with Tom Brady
Absolutely.
and Tampa Bay. Okay, well, now let's talk about the division round. But before that, we literally, as we speak, we just found out that the Ravens.
The Ravens just fired their offensive coordinator.
I mean,
I guess it's a party in Lamar's house.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Did you see when Lamar had an not altercation, but because the special teams team was going in because they were going to kick a field goal and Lamar pushed him off
He wanted to go for it.
and did not go as planned and
That's what you get for having a poor offensive coordinator, wanting to punt it, kick it.
not
know.
in communication with the quarterback.
There you go.
But we'll see. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see.
But now division round, we have the Giants against the Eagles, the Cowboys against 49ers, the Chiefs against who do we?
The Jags.
The Jaguars,
Oh.
and then the Bengals against
Bills.
the Bills.
So let's start on the AFC side.
Let's start with Kansas City Jags. What I say I have. It's gonna be tough, but I can definitely see Jaguars passing on. Pat, he lost Tyreek Hill. The receiving core has been a little shaky here and then. Not kind of clear who we are throwing at. Mainly Juju Smith.
And Travis.
Obviously Travis Kelce, but
That's about it.
but really let's say on a 3rd and 2 on the goal line or who are you gonna throw it to? Travis Kelce.
Travis.
And
I think the defense already knows that.
so
before the play.
But I think it's definitely possible for the Jaguars to win and coming from the last place of AFC South and just now into the division round. I mean, no one expected that. I think
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence this past game I don't know, he returned back to Clemson or something or I don't-
He definitely did, especially
But-
at halftime.
I mean, personally, I mean, on really the Chiefs are over the Jags right now, but it's not entirely impossible for the Jags to win.
Not at all.
So it might be on the AFC side. I think that might be the upset.
Yeah. If you think about it, I'm not gonna say this entirely 100%, but the Chiefs' defense is not something that wows you.
No,
Like, when have you ever seen them? I don't know, force 2 fumbles, get a pick, and do all this stuff in a single game. They don't really have the talent back there. I mean, they have talent, but it's not playoff caliber talent to actually keep. Because as you saw the Jaguars, you had ETN running, you had Christian Kirk who has been playing an amazing season. You had Trevor, whoever, no matter who he throws it to, it's gonna be a great play. They're gonna go down the field, and I think just the Chiefs' defense hasn't been living to the standards. As a Texans fan, y'all took him to the last edge of that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, the Texans gave the Chiefs a hustle that game.
Right. Which
So,
is concerning if I was a Chiefs fan.
I mean, so if we see the stats for the season, Trevor Lawrence has 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,113 yards, and then Patrick Mahomes 41 touchdowns,
Wow.
12 interceptions, 5,250 yards. So you can definitely see the difference here.
Yeah.
But I mean, Isaiah Pacheco and Etienne have about similar numbers, 5 touchdowns each. 1,125 yards for Etienne. Pacheco has 830.
Okay.
Etienne has 220 carries. Isaiah Pacheco 170 carries. So I mean, and then Travis Kelce. I mean, it's Travis Kelce.
It's Travis Kelce, yeah.
So I mean,
It's tough to say.
according to ESPN, Kansas City has a 78.5% chance of winning compared to the 21.5 from Jaguars.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't know.
The stats will tell you otherwise. If you think about that Chiefs offense, going back to that Dolphins, what we were talking about the Dolphins,
Yeah.
in the Dolphins offense, Tua can check it down to Tyreek or Waddle, and they make the play. In Kansas City, Mahomes puts it on the money. No matter where, Mahomes is putting the ball where he needs to put it, and the receiver just has to catch it.
Yeah, that is true. Patrick is
Run the route, catch the ball, because Patrick Mahomes will get you the ball.
That is true. No
So-
matter.
But
But you have to put into consideration that it is Arrowhead.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a tough stadium, if not the toughest fan base, and it's gonna be tough. 3:30 p.m. We'll see.
second best fan base.
Oh, sorry. Besides the Seahawks.
Hey. They
I-
broke the world record for the loudest stadium, 147.
Yeah, but it doesn't
decibels.
help if they're not in the playoffs. Too.
Okay. Anyways, second game in the AFC.
You got Bengals Bills. 13-3 for the Bills and 12-4 Bengals. I think this is gonna be a very great game in my opinion.
Great game.
We have, but like we were saying earlier, Josh Allen has been throwing a little bit more of interceptions and giving turnovers. So we'll see how that
And the Bills allowed 21 points to the Dolphins without their starting quarterback.
31. Yep.
Sorry, 31, not 21.
That's a little concerning.
Very concerning because
We have
if you look at the Bengals,
Joe Shiesty with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins,
Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
So, it's kind of hard to cover everybody at once. I don't think there is a defense in the league that can, cover 4 people at the same time effectively.
ESPN has the Bills 65.2% chance of winning against 34.8% for the Bengals. I personally think it's a 50-50.
It's
Well,
a 50-50.
I think it's in my opinion, I'm leaning a little bit more with the Bengals about like slightly. I would say 51-49.
Yeah. It's going to be about
I think it's gonna be a secondary game. I think it's gonna be a defensive game. Who
can actually stop
what defense stands out and who really throws less interceptions, in my opinion.
who can stop them from scoring, because this game's going to end like
A shootout.
40-something to 40-something at
It's
that
gonna
point.
be a shootout. And, yeah.
Not much to say after that, though. It's going to be a
And
shootout.
we'll see. I definitely think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sunday at 2 p.m.
I have the Bengals on this one for obvious reasons. Their offense is just uncomparable in that side of the spectrum, in that side of the league. So yeah, I mean, honestly, if you put it in the AFC perspective, I would say that the Bengals have the best offense, in my opinion, personally. Just effective wise, they're just effective on how they score.
Yeah.
So
Now let's move on to the NFC. You have, excuse me, first game, Saturday, 7:15 p.m. We have Giants and Eagles.
Giants, Eagles.
I think that's another good game in my opinion.
Yeah, and a lot of people are putting the Eagles as the clear winner.
Yeah, I mean it's 80.1% chance of winning against 19.9 on ESPN.
Again, stats talking, right? As the Eagles are the number one seed.
So yeah, so we haven't seen them in 2 weeks, 1 week. Wait.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I mean they've been playing good all season. Jalen Hurts,
Come back from injury.
H-Town guy.
H-Town guy,
I'll
yeah.
give him that. But if you compare the numbers between Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts, we have 3,205 yards from Daniel Jones, 3,701 yards for Jalen Hurts, 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions for Daniel Jones, and 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions for Jalen Hurts. So
Okay.
we can see that Daniel Jones is not that
Yeah.
quarterback that is like, yeah, he's the man,
He gets the job done, though.
He
He gets the job done. Like the man.
That's really all you need. I mean,
He's like, he's not the type of guy to
amaze you or to
throw you a 400-yard game,
right.
but he's the type of guy who at the end of the day will win the game for you.
Yep.
Now there is a drastic difference between him throwing to Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton, and compared to Jalen Hurts throwing to Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. There's a drastic difference. And the New York defense will be tested highly in that game, stopping the run, because Jalen Hurts himself runs. Like, how he runs more than his own running back.
Yep.
So,
And then the secondary for the Eagles. I mean,
Yeah, it's
Darius
crazy.
Slay and
Darius Slay and I mean, the Giants' biggest weapon is Saquon, and the Eagles have struggled stopping the run. That's their only weakness. Passing wise, it's kind of hard. It's
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay. But I mean, the Eagles, their key points are stopping the run defensively and running it offensively, getting the ball to AJ, let him make a play, getting it to Devontae Smith, let him make a play, just let them make a play.
Yep. And let's not forget that the Giants and Eagles have already played this season.
Right, twice.
And at the last game, they lost 22-16.
Close game.
And then the other they played then the other last time they played, they won 48-22.
That's a wild shootout. That last game that you mentioned, the 22-16, correct?
Yep.
The Giants,
That was last week, wasn't it?
the Giants and the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think that was week 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
Yeah, relatively close, but a different story in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I have the Eagles in a drastically close margin.
yeah. I think at the end of the day, I think the better team is gonna win, and I think overall, I think the Eagles is just a little bit better than the Giants, and I personally have the Eagles going through.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Congrats to New York on their season. It's been a very long time since they went to the playoffs.
Yes.
I mean, congrats to them. They went on a win streak. They were doing very good. They got out of their division, which 3 teams got out of it in the NFC side. So
Right.
great division, a very tough division. They did their job. And even if they win or lose this game, I would leave that stadium with my head held high.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. But I have the Eagles over the Giants.
All right, Sunday night football.
This is gonna be a good one. 49ers Cowboys. I'll just say it right now. I have the 49ers. I think you could.
There's a lot of things to say about this game, though. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think there's probably gonna be the close. Besides the Bengals Bills, I think this might even be a little bit even more tighter. I mean,
Oh yeah.
ESPN has 53.2% Cowboys winning
Oh
and
wow.
46.8 49ers winning.
Did not expect that.
I mean, but it's gonna be a great game. I mean,
It's gonna be a good game. I think.
is Brock Purdy gonna finally lose his game
Hey,
against the Cowboys?
you know what I saw? I actually, after last week, I told myself, I was like, if the 49ers are going to beat the Seahawks, they might as well win the Super Bowl at that point.
Okay.
Because, they're coming out of our division. They're our biggest rivals, don't get me wrong, but it's not a aggressive hatred toward them.
Right.
Because we recognize that they're good, and we've beaten them in the past enough that it can be a friendly rival. With that being said, Brock Purdy, since he came,
and the 49ers are always that little pebble in the Packers way, and always.
yeah, always, literally
It just
always.
seems for
For the Packers, it's a hatred
oh yeah,
because it's always the 49ers getting in their way.
but I am a Texans fan and I have a little bit more hatred. Okay, I'm not gonna say hatred. That's an ugly word.
Yeah,
I
cut that out.
dislike the Cowboys a little bit more, just because they're that.
So
They have a good team. I will admit they have a good team.
yeah. Statistically talking, Brock Purdy came in the league December 11th against the Bucks. That was his first start.
And
He came in against Miami to finish off the game, and they won. But his first start was against Tom Brady. They beat them by a wide margin, right? Then he went on and finished the regular season unbeaten.
right.
And they played the Seahawks twice. They played the Washington Commanders. And just statistically talking, every game since Brock Purdy started, he's played awesome, right? He's played lights out.
I agree.
But here's the thing. Every single defense that he's played, every single one of them, except two, are bottom 5 defenses.
That's true.
While it hurts me to say that the Seahawks are one of them, the only 2 teams that are not bottom 5 defenses that he played are the Bucks and the Washington Commanders. Surprisingly, they're actually not as bad as people think. But with that being said, this is going to be...
They did go to OT with the Raiders, 37-34.
Which had me a little concerned because the Raiders weren't even playing Derek Carr in that game. It was Jarrett Stidham. So, with that being said, this is going to be his first real test. Don't get me wrong. If he doesn't meet the expectations that everyone wants him to, follow the hype, it's okay because like everyone's been saying, he's a 3rd-string quarterback, a 7th-round pick, Mr. Irrelevant. It's okay because that's your first real test. It's a tough game.
He's thrown for 1,374 yards, 13
Impressive.
touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
Impressive. McCaffrey will run the ball very effectively against the Cowboys.
Or Debo.
Or Debo. Or Kittle. Or Ayuk, because that offensive playbook is insane. The plays that they have are crazy.
I mean, I did trade for Christian McCaffrey in fantasy. And I think it was probably the
best trade.
I did the good, I think I played pretty good because at that moment I traded for Christian McCaffrey and he was still at the Panthers. He's still at the Panthers. And as soon as I got him, he moved to 49ers, and I think that just helped me a lot. I mean,
absolutely. If you were running the ball, if you were Christian McCaffrey, you have Trent Williams, you have Kittle, and you have Juszczyk blocking for you. You're going right through that hole.
Juszczyk is just. I mean, did you? He even. I think there was a play. I think last week where Juszczyk. There was a video where he just absolutely just went through Trent Williams because. I mean, he was winded up. I mean.
Yeah, and that's the sole reason why their offense is off the roof, because they have so many guys who can make plays, whether they have the ball or not.
I mean, in the 1 yard line, I mean, you do not know who's going to run the ball. Christian McCaffrey, Juszczyk. I mean,
Brock Purdy himself, which he did, which is crazy. And it's a tough job for the 49ers to keep up with covering Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo. But we'll also see how they react. And the Cowboys, I personally don't think the 49ers secondary is that good.
I will say that if the Cowboys beat the 49ers, they're going to the Super Bowl. If the Cowboys beat the 49ers, they're going to the Super Bowl.
And then they have to get past the Eagles in the championship.
I think if they get past the 49ers, they can get past through the Eagles.
If they can stop the 49ers offense, they can stop.
I mean, it's not pleasant for me to say it. I mean,
Yeah.
but if the Cowboys beat the 49ers, I firmly believe that they're going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. I mean, that's a story for.
That's a little stretch. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, it's not entirely possible because if you see it, let's see, Chiefs and Jaguars, and then obviously Bills and Bengals. I think it's not entirely possible, but like I said, if the Cowboys beat the 49ers, I believe they're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, that's a take right there. But I have, for obvious reasons, I have the Cowboys winning this one.
Okay. So you have the Cowboys?
I have the Cowboys.
Give me a score.
Give you a score. (27-25).
Okay. I have the 49ers going through.
Get this. I'm gonna say this right now. I have Brock Purdy throwing 2 picks.
2 picks.
In the game.
2 picks.
2 picks. Exactly 2 picks.
2 picks.
Two.
2 picks. You heard it here.
Keep
2
it.
picks. 2 picks.
2 picks.
Excuse me. I think Dak is gonna throw 3. He has
Very hot
he
take.
has been actually I think 3 is probably a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I say 2 and a fumble.
2 and a fumble. Okay.
Okay, take out the fumble actually. Just 2 as well. You know?
Okay.
He has been also interception prone, you could say. Dak Prescott.
He leads the league in interceptions. But yeah, we'll see how that game turns out. It's gonna go
It's gonna be
either
a
way.
nice game. They play. They play Sunday at 5:30. I'll definitely be watching that game
in Cali.
in Cali. I have the 49ers going through, and you have the Cowboys. We'll
Hey,
see.
if the 49ers go through, I told you that's fine, as long as they win it and not choke like they did last time to the Chiefs.
And if the 49ers go through, and I have the Eagles going through as well, 49ers Eagles, that's going to be a heck of a game either as well.
Oh yeah.
Or even the Cowboys Eagles, another heck of a game too as well.
So
But
what is your Super Bowl prediction?
Super Bowl prediction. Okay, so let's see. Super Bowl. I did say the Jaguars have a chance of beating the Chiefs. But if I had to say, I think Chiefs are going through. So it gives the Chiefs and Bengals Bills. I personally have the Bengals, Chiefs Bengals, and then I have 49ers and Eagles going through. So 49ers and Eagles and Bengals and Chiefs. I think Bengals win.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be tough, but I think Brock Purdy is going to Super Bowl.
Wow.
I think we can see a Bengals 49ers. I think Jalen Hurts is a great guy. Don't get me wrong. He's love him because he's from H-Town. Eagles, great team, but I think
You have the 49ers going through.
I think it's gonna be a Cinderella story if Brock Purdy goes to the Super Bowl. Without,
Now here's the thing: do they win it?
do they win it? It'd be tough for Bengals to lose another Super Bowl. So I think if the Bengals go to Super Bowl, they'll definitely will want to win that Super Bowl. 49ers have already been in a Super Bowl against the Chiefs. A different story though. Jimmy G as quarterback.
A rookie Debo Samuel, which is crazy.
But then we have a rookie quarterback in a Super Bowl
With a lot of pressure.
with a lot of pressure. I don't know. Bengals 49ers is my prediction for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Write that down. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It's just Brock Purdy is my. I don't know. I just feel like the
He's your guy. He's your guy.
I think 49ers win Super Bowl.
Okay. All
I
right.
think I'm taking 49ers.
Fair enough.
How about you? I got excited and all of that. I don't know why.
Dude, I see that. Yeah.
I might buy a jersey from Brock Purdy.
Oh my God. Okay.
Rub it against you.
Whoa. Okay. No, absolutely not. AFC side. Bengals. Bengals have too much in revenge to not go to the Super Bowl. Sorry, they have too much in revenge to go to the Super Bowl. They're gonna take everyone in their path and get the job done. And then in the NFC side, if the 49ers beat the Cowboys, let them right through to the Super Bowl.
But like I said, if the Cowboys win, it's gonna be a Bengals Cowboys, and then the Bengals win it.
I just don't see Philly going to the Super Bowl. It's always the team that did the best who at the end of the day just chokes it up. They do something. It's some play call. It's some interception, some fumble that leads up to them losing right before they actually get the whole season wrapped up.
They're gonna be a LA Dodgers. They're gonna be like the Dodgers.
Because look, let me tell you something. If the Bengals go to the Super Bowl and they played the Eagles don't even stand a chance.
You think?
I actually think so. Because if it was the 49ers, oh, yeah, it's going to be a close game. If it's the Cowboys, it's going to be a close game. The Eagles, I don't think so. In my sole opinion. They're just not that team, in my opinion. And
Okay.
it's no hate to them, but they're just not that team.
So what's your Super Bowl two teams?
I also say Bengals 49ers.
Bengals 49ers.
But I said if the 49ers win,
if the 49ers.
whoever wins out of that game is going to Super Bowl.
I agree. If whoever wins from 49ers Cowboys is going to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And in my opinion, Brock Purdy takes it.
Your opinion, bro.
And
I couldn't tell you who wins it. I couldn't.
but if you had to bet right now,
If I was legally betting money,
if you
for the
had to
game.
bet right now, who would you take?
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
You don't want to say 49ers.
I'm not gonna say the 49ers, just because of my sole pride as a Seahawks fan. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they won it because they're having a wonderful season, and we can match Super Bowl rings now. 2013 against the Broncos, but yeah, no. If they win it, cool for them. They're gonna brag about it every time Seattle goes to Santa Clara, but I have the Bengals.
Okay, well,
Go Jamar Chase.
Hey, so I have the 49ers winning it, and Mr. Danny over here has
The Bengals.
the Bengals. I mean, but okay, yeah, that's one way to go. So you heard our picks here, so keep us accountable. And
If this is the Super Bowl, come back to this video.
Yep.
Because we were right.
listen, right here, right here, 49ers, Brock Purdy, lifting that Lombardi trophy. I'm
Go
telling you right now.
Bengals.
Well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for joining us in this episode of the Locker Room. We'll leave the off-season talk for next episode. Well, you can hear about my rant up for the Texans, and we'll discuss draft orders, draft picks, and who we think is the strongest team coming into the next season. Thank you for joining us once again. Comment down below your picks. If you agree with us, if you don't, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? And thank you for joining us in the Locker Room, where we talk about sports, and see you in the next episode. I'm sure Damian Pierce can throw the ball a lot better than the freaking giraffe we have. I mean, I don't even think we should. I don't even know why we're speaking his name.
David-
I think he should. You know what? Starting with Cal McNair, I think he should be gone. I think we just sell the team. You know what? That's what we're doing.
Just pack it up and leave.
Pack it up and leave. Pack it up and leave. That's
Hey,
what we're doing.
David, if they don't draft the quarterback in the first round,
If oh my God, see, I don't even know. Cut.